Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I am tired. I am really fed up and sick and tired of having to make these sorts of videos, but here I am. The Australian government is falling really, really far, and they've gone so far as to now try and indoctrinate. They are actually doing this. The Victorian government is doing this. They are trying to indoctrinate children, even though we have ample information now from other countries to say that there is no such thing as a trans child. Puberty blockers are harmful for young kids. This pronoun business, this gender ideology, trans ideology is made up nonsense and it does not work. But the Victorian government doesn't care about that. Neither does every other government in this country, because now they're rolling out, especially in Victoria, which is pretty much the wokest state in the country at the moment, New South Wales being second and Queensland being third. They're rolling out this crazy indoctrination of young kids in public libraries now. So if your kid wants to go to a public library, the staff members have been ordered to ask that child for their preferred pronouns and to start indoctrinating that child with gender ideology. They'll have books on display now promoting graphic sexual exploitation material to the likes of a 5-year-old child. This is in Victoria. Can you imagine why I'm sick and tired? Can you imagine why I'm just actually exhausted? The more you speak about this stuff, the more you fight about this stuff, the more they go and damn well do it. Makes me go, what is the point? The point is, if we don't continue voicing our concerns about this and we don't let our voices be heard and known, they're just going to take over anyway. At least we've got to give them some sort of pushback and some sort of fight that maybe they may realize that, hey, this is not a good thing. The Victorian government has been accused and is currently under fire of indoctrinating children with fringe theories about sex and gender after staff at the state's public libraries were given guidance to ask kids as young as 5 about their gender pronouns. It's not bad enough that they're getting this in school. They've got to now go to a public library, which is funded by the taxpayer. So you, as a taxpayer, are now funding for this indoctrination of young kids. How about that? The government is using your money to get the trans ideology into the hearts and the minds of young, innocent kids. They want to overtly sexualize your young kid. It's also including drag story hour with the likes of Frida that wants to tell your young kid, hey, you can be whatever the hell you say that you can be, because no one can tell you otherwise. And if they do, that's conversion therapy. That's not allowed here. Even though they don't actually see that they're converting the young kid right there, which is far worse than trying to protect the young kid from any of this crap. So the government's outlawed conversion therapy from a Christian or a actual reality standpoint. And granted, what they did with certain conversion therapy practices, I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but I get where there's a lot of trauma with that. But they've outlawed one thing and have allowed something far worse into the mix. Rachel Wong goes, Victorian Labor is out of control. Yeah, significantly. When it comes to forcing radical gender ideology into everyday facet of society. Among other things, it is currently running an ad campaign that gaslights women into accepting trans-identified males in their spaces and sports. It is conducting an inquiry into women's pain, which includes men who identify as women. So you think the public libraries asking your young child, and you're paying for it, about their so-called gender identity, think again, because they've got a lot of other crazy nonsense going on too. And politicians go, if you say anything about this, you're a hateful bigot, even though they're the actual hateful bigots themselves, because they're going against actual biological women. You just can't make any of this stuff up, man. You really can't. It's so dumb. And they gaslight everyone into thinking that they're right and you're wrong. It has defended the housing of a male R word in a woman's prison. It criminalized non-gender affirming care for individuals struggling with gender dysphoria. That being going and seeing a psychologist and talking to a psychologist properly. And now it is co-opting librarians to indoctrinate kids in public libraries. This is despite parents as well as library staff feeling deeply uncomfortable with this relentless indoctrination of children. I know of librarians and library assistants who have been forced to leave their jobs over the discomfort of facilitating activities like drag queen story time, too afraid to speak up for fear of being accused of discrimination. Libraries should be a place of learning, not indoctrination. You should be able to go to a library and not have to see any of this crap on full display. You know, it used to be when I go to the library, I would love the library. I would enjoy it so much. It was my happy place. You know why? Because I could go there in peace and read books that I was actually interested in reading about and didn't have to worry about any of this crap on full display. Imagine a young kid that doesn't like any of this stuff and having to be exposed to it. Government is out of control. Seriously out of control. Sal Grover goes, the only way gender ideology is able to infiltrate greater society is by imposing it, as everything about it is so anti-instinct that it wouldn't make it past the fringe without authoritarian guidelines and nonsensical laws. Fortunately, sex doesn't change, but laws and guidelines do. These days, yes. These days, it's so blatantly obvious that they don't care about biology, reality, or anything like that. They much rather change the law to suit their own delusion. I mean, how far do we have to get before these people start waking up and realizing what's got to happen in order for them to actually wake up and go, we've made a huge mistake? And even if they've made a huge mistake, there better be damn well consequences, quite harshly, for the people that affirm this madness. Prison for the liars and the butchers. And if you lie to an innocent young kid, they'll be held to pay. I guarantee you, this life or the next, especially in the next life, because God says, don't touch my kids. Don't touch the kids. Leave them the hell alone. The government's got a lot to answer for. And so does every single person that affirms this rubbish. Again, I'm tired. Don't know if you can tell. You can tell. We'll keep fighting, ladies and gentlemen. We'll keep going. You guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.